Cumudul dah keselam. Kan long kemno serai. Kau gangam lut barok sepok kendau.
Lo ayap tu meh. Memtip isu na.
Iding buon Pak Cakasya nama. Atrai di pentip nai kibriyo sir. Kibriyo le mentah ki thiet taman yok lom centiam.
Ki khubor ka Batesi TV ka umdi basnyam bak penjasliang. Rupa Premium Meghalaya.
MLA ka West Shillong constituency uba polling do ulawanra ka jingkali hayeng dor barthawan ka jalla halor ka yokam yojam ki try jalla ha ki project boarding bapher ha ka jalla bat kumno la penya dia kata ka thungkam thungjam hapo kita ki project boarding Henry haba menteri ketenat boarding uba med baling do ula yeng ban jubab ya uba polling do ula ong baka jubab menteri sorkar ka kelan bat ula benrap ya ka jingkeli da ka baong bahatu ketenat boarding ka terikam na AM ya ka Meghalaya Industrial and Investment Promotion Policy 2024 menteri ula jubab bahaot ketenat ka penrikam ya kani habau bapol yang biang ban ya ki jingkeli menteri rangba kejala Konrad ki sangma ula yang ban benrap ya ki jubab
Mr. Speaker, sir, answer to start question 137A. Sir, the local direct employment shall be operationalized in accordance with the provisions of the agreement entered into with project affected families, subject to the availability of requisite skills and qualifications, particularly on the category C and D positions. For other categories of employment, recruitment shall be undertaken through an open and transparent process in accordance with the applicable rules and regulations, including the Meghalaya Reservation Policy. In addition to direct employment, projects is expected to generate indirect employment opportunities during the construction and operational phases, such as engagement in contractual works, site labor, and allied activities, thereby contributing to livelihood opportunities for local population. B. Sir, the monitoring mechanisms in respect of local employment commitments shall primarily be implemented by the project developer. The same will be subject to review by the state government to ensure adherence to agreements. C. Sir, in cases of non-compliance with agreed commitments, appropriate action may be taken in accordance with the provisions of the relevant agreements and applicable laws.
Your supplementary question, please.
Thank you, sir. My fundamental concern in bringing this question is the rapid deterioration of the MEECL as an organization. So on the 11th of September 2025, the Cabinet had formally accepted the report of an independent inquiry committee headed by retired Justice R.N. Mishra, which flagged several serious deficiencies in human resource management as a systemic failure within the MEECL and its three subsidiaries. Now, in view of the reply of the Honorable Minister, may I know what framework has been put in place in order to ensure that local employment is optimized and that this is continuously being monitored by the department.
Mr. Speaker, sir, the employment commitments and employment opportunities in hydropower projects for project affected families are supported by both by the Hydropower Policy 2008 and Right to Fairness, Compensation and Transparency in Land Acquisition, Rehabilitation and Resettlement Act 2013.
No, sir, I need a very clear, specific answer as to what framework has been put in place to ensure that this employment is being monitored at the highest level. What framework, what institution?
Sir, with regards to the monitoring mechanism that are proposed, in general, the corporation, when it comes to the monitoring mechanism which are established by project authority, state administration during the implementation and operation of hydropower projects to oversee the monitoring and evaluation of the rehabilitation and resettlement plan. So, the mechanism focused primarily on land acquisition processes and socio-economic well-being of project-affected families. The framework includes both internal and external oversight to ensure effective implementation and compliance with statutory requirements. Internal oversight carried out administratively by the land acquisition officer and resettlement of commissioner. They monitor progress against approved physical and financial targets, including compensation disbursement and delivery of rehabilitation and resettlement entitlements. External oversight provided by the independent third-party agencies or auditors and for periodic reviews, compliance verification and grievance redressal mechanisms. So these are the two bodies which are internal oversight and external oversight.
So the minister is beating around the bush, sir. Let me come to a very specific question that emanates from his reply, which is whether the Meghalaya Industrial and Investment Promotion Policy 2024 is being implemented by the department or not.
Sir, the question raised by an honourable member, yes, sir.
In that case, whether the two categories, the managerial category and the non-managerial category, are both being implemented.
Yes, sir. As per the reply to the principal question, sir, that in the A, I have already mentioned about this.
So, where non-managerial posts are concerned, there is provision for 90% reservation for local domiciles. And for managerial posts, there's a provision for 50% reservation for local domiciles. Are both of these being strictly adhered to or not?
Yes, sir.
Sir, if I may just supplement. Sir, the projects will obviously be followed under the Investment Act, but these are conditions as per the subsidies that are provided. So it is applicable to companies that that approach the government in terms of the different subsidies that are there. And as they apply and as they register with us, these are applicable. So it is on a case-to-case basis. But yes, sir, in general, this particular policy will be applicable to all projects that are there that applications coming into the MIPA, sir.
So, as of March 2025, approximately 255 sanctioned technical posts remain vacant in the MEPDCL alone, whether steps have been taken to fill up these vacancies.
Mr. Speaker, sir, the principal question is subject to the local employment commitments on the power projects only, sir. So for that, I don't have the information with me right now, sir. I require notice.
5 supplementary questions are over. Lindo, please.
Sir, may I know from the Honorable Minister how many JE were promoted to the post of EE in the most recent recruitment exercise?
Sir, again, I would like to, I will not shy away for giving the answer to that, but I don't have the information, sir, because the principal question refers to the local employment commitments on the power projects only, sir. So these are the information that are available with me. For the supplementary question raised by the Honourable Member, I don't have the information, sir, right now. So I require notice.
One more, sir. May I know from the Honorable Minister, when will the process of filling up all vacancies be reinstated?
Filling up all the posts, sir, if I can, the Honourable Member can repeat the question, please.
When will the process of filling up all vacancies be reinstated?
Sir, as far as filling up of vacancies, this is a continuous process of the corporation from time to time. So I know what exactly the Honourable Member wishes to ask, but again I would like to repeat here that the principal questions which is confined to the employment commitments only, as I mentioned, sir. So for that, I don't have any answer right now, sir. Perhaps I require notice.
Barden, please.
Sir, may I know from the Honourable Minister, in view of the decision of the government to outsource the lower rank category in the MECL, may I know whether what will be the consequence as far as this employment commitments of the department is concerned?
Sir, with regards to these are basically the local employment commitments are basically project-wise. So as we are aware that the projects that we have, like the Minturu, Leshka, the Umyam, and so on, these are the projects-based employment. So the commitments for the power projects also will be fulfilled as per this commitment, sir.
So my question, sir, is like since the government has adopted a policy of outsourcing, will it affect or not the commitments of the government as far as the employment of those landowners or whatever stakeholders are concerned?
Please address the chair, please.
Oh, sorry, sir.
Mr. Speaker, sir, these are the project-based. Basically, in case of any new project that comes up, so the public hearing will be held before the commencement, before the operation of the construction of the projects. In that case, the outsourcing agency will not be a role as far as the employment commitments is concerned. It is the duty of the corporation to take care of those project-affected families.
Sir, I'll just supplement to the Honourable Member's question and the Honourable Minister's reply, sir. So there are multiple parts to it. Number one, sir, the Honourable Member has asked that once we outsource the lower categories of the jobs that are there, will it affect the commitments that are made in terms of the commitments given to the people, the landowners? So, sir, the answer for that is no, sir, it will not impact. Normally, the outsourcing that is done at the MECL level for works that are more of security nature or day-to-day administrative, lower administrative and office work that is there. So therefore, these aspects of outsourcing in a power project does not arise, sir. That is something that we don't do. So therefore, it will not affect the primary question and reply to that. And also just to share, sir, so the House is clear on the subject, that I'll just give a few numbers. So for example, in Mintudu Leshka project, so there are a total of 69 people who are regular people out there working as a regular job. Out of them, 69, one is a non-local and 68 are locals. Even when it comes to the contractual and casual, there are total 72. Out of the 72, 2 are non-local and 70 are local. I'll go to another project of, say example, sir, say Umiam stage 1. So the total regular employees there are 29. Out of that, 26 are locals and 3 is non-local. Casual again and contractual are 12. So out of that, 1 is non-local and 11 are locals. Just examples are like that. I have got the list of all the projects and what the manpower is. So I just wanted to clear that even when it comes to the projects of the power projects that are there, we are adhering to these aspects. There is a special rule that we have, and the laws are there to ensure that we implement them, including our own law that we had come out with the power policy that we have, which also reiterates this aspect. And the specific reply that what happens, when when the works are outsourced. As I said, sir, these are not outsourced for the project. The project is the works in the project are not outsourced. Outsourced are normally at the MECL level, internally the administration level, and normally for jobs like security and all, in which also most of the individuals who are working in the agencies that are involved are all local agencies mostly, sir. And most of the jobs in that also is given to our local boys and girls, sir.
Sir, may I know from the Honorable Minister, the mode of employment as far as the landowners is concerned, whether they are going to be employed as regular or contractual or casual, sir?
Sir, the landowner will be appointed on a regular basis because they have to comply as far as the public hearing done by the district authority when it comes to those landowners' employment is concerned, sir.
Sir, I think I'm confused, sir, because employment for the landowner is a kind of a guarantee for the landowner so that they can give the land to the department. So why there is a need for a public hearing to accommodate landowner and to give employment landowner in the department? I am confused. I don't understand, sir.
Sir, just to set the things straight, whenever any project which is coming up, there's always a public hearing before the project is being finalized. And in that process, there's also a part in the hearing that the employment for the local, especially the landowners, is to be adopted and it is to be complied. So in that process, the appointment of those landowners initially will be on a contractual basis, but it will be assured with regularization, since at that point of time there is no sanction post.
So may I know how long it will take for the landowners to get regularized in case they are appointed as contractuals?
So the contractual basis employed will be regularized at the earliest, because the sanction of those posts is to be approved and for their regularization, sir.
Oh, for once I'm ready before her. Chale! Gorgeous. Let's go!
Coming. How much you honk, yeah?
Come on, we should leave.
Chill. It's just family.
Exactly. और घर वाले ही late.
By the way, how am I looking?
Very late.
Streamers, caps, candles, cake, definitely balloons. सब आ गया. Wait a minute. Where is everyone? Show off.
Hey bro, how's it going?
एक बात बता, सबसे फास्ट होकर भी हमेशा लेट कैसे?
Style bro, style.
Hello guys, where's the birthday boy?
यहीं कहीं होगा, अपने फीचर्स को रील्स पे शो ऑफ करता हुआ.
इतना बिगाड़ा जो है, ऑटोमेटिक गियर बॉक्स, वेंटिलेटेड सीट्स, सनरूफ.
क्यों ना हो, फैमिली का सबसे यंगेस्ट भी तो है. Let's go guys, party time.